he's going to talk to us about where do we go with cement now, because we had one paper on how it's causing problems. So I think here we'll get to see some newer modalities of using cement. Dr. Bhave.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm very happy that I have Dr. Bhojraj as one of our chairmen, with whose aspiration actually I came into the field of spinal surgery. So this lecture, in his presence, it is really a great honor to me. And I also thank Amol that he had requested Dr. Bhojraj to be the chairperson for this. And Abhay is of course my colleague. So with this, with a short span of 6 to 7 minutes, I will just give you a brief how this cement augmentation is changing. And as you know, vertical compression fractures due to osteoporosis lead to a downward spiral and worsening the quality of life. And the deformity progression, already many of us are treating this by conservative treatment. But if you see these two figures in a span of 4 days, the Lieberman shows that there is a collapse and that causes further deformity, even if this fracture unites in that particular position. And hence, aim of the management is to cut down the downward spiral and improve the quality of life, and so far as possible use minimally invasive or non-fusion techniques to treat this. So vertebroplasty is the first index method which is being used world over, and it instantly relieves pain by injection and stabilization of the vertebral body, so and improving the quality of life. But it has got it had multiple problems, and hence the future of vertebroplasty is getting modified in various ways. That is, surgical advances. We have newer implant devices which will regain the vertebral height. So height restoration is the main aim. Second is newer cementing material, and some of them are being developed as bioabsorbable, so that even you can use for different indications, additional indications. And then combination of MIS non-fusion technology for complicated problems, so that with rising geriatric population everywhere, we have different sorts of things available. So this is one of our locally made device which has got multiple advantages and now patented. It matches with our Prime Minister's this Make in India, Develop in India. So the peculiarities of this device, it has got a locking system. Even if one channel is blocked, it continues to discharge, so you don't go on increasing the charges for the patient. And if you see this, it has got uniform filling, 360 degrees filling of the cavity of the vertebral body or fracture. It is never a two-dimensional fracture like you have a transverse fracture in tibia. It is a three-dimensional fracture. So this is in brief. Next is coming to the changing philosophies and ideas to stabilize the vertebral fractures. There are various methods which we can use. The vertebroplasty is one where we don't restore the vertebral body height and hence do not create void. But now when we look for restoration of the vertebral height and deformity correction, we can have by multiple ways. So to create a void, because with mechanical pressure you have many such devices like Optimesh, Acuplasty, Vex 3000 and Sky Expander. And kyphoplasty, which has been very popularized in our country, uses hydrostatic pressure. And where you don't create a void but use hydrostatic pressure because of using cement is the vesselplasty. And I am happy that I had an advantage of right from in the beginning, right from developing the idea, animal experiments to third generation of this vessel, which is available now for practice. And before in India, we have already 2,500 implantation in Europe. So then another thing which has come up is a titanium implant, which is left figure shows unexpanded implant, and on the right it shows expanded implant when you insert it in the vertebral body. So it has a better vertical height gain in a compression fracture. So vesselplasty is another non-fusion technique. We do this under local anesthesia, and I had a privilege to work with it for last 10 years, right from its animal experiments to the present stage of third generation container system. This is a non-stretchable container system which prevents the cement leakage, and it has got 100 mesh micron which provide interdigitation of the cement, and once we inject the cement, whole body expands, and you can see there is a height gain as well as safety in the osteoporotic vertebral compression fractures. So you achieve all the three things, that is with the pressure of the cement when you are inflating, you are increasing the height of the vertebra, controllable cement which comes out through the 100 micron mesh which will stabilize the vertebral body and the implant, and then with interdigitations it has got long term height maintenance, it doesn't collapse post-operatively, and also we have got height which maintains it. So few examples, this is a compression fracture, I will show you steps. Whole thing done under local anesthesia. You can see the implant inside, cement getting injected, vertebral body getting lifted, and the final picture you can see. This is another lady, compression fracture, treated for 4 months with conservative treatment, and she has taken all local treatment and with this skin conditions, and treated with vesselplasty under local anesthesia. These are CM pictures during the procedure, and picture you can see the opening of this height. So this is dynamic X-rays, standing X-rays at 8 weeks. You don't see any collapse. The height what we gain on table is maintained. Sorry, the slide is not coming. You can see the patient walking and the scar of the surgery. Then next development in the material what we use, this is another thing, strontium based cement, and you can see the bone cement interface and strontium and hydroxyapatite, they merge and is replaced by a new growing bone. So it is not like PMMA, foreign body, it is getting replaced by normal bone once the biomechanical and biochemical reactions take place over the period of 6 months to 1 year. So this is a new incoming thing in the cementing material for vertebral fractures augmentation. Because as we know, role of the strontium, it is also used as a oral treatment, and it has got adequate stiffness, compressive strength of 40.9 MPa, and low viscosity makes it good bioactive cement for vertebroplasty and kyphoplasty. So then last, to come to an end, we can have combination of this minimally invasive with maximally invasive, and this is balloon assisted stabilization of vertebral fractures. This is one of the example. This lady was treated conservatively, finally came to this after 3 months, and then we stabilized with vertebroplasty with fixation of the vertebral bodies. This is another modification of vesselplasty where you can have screws with vessels.
Can we conclude now?
Last slide. So this is how we can do open with minimally invasive, and this is the final picture where you have screws with vessels which are stabilizing the osteoporotic fractures and you get good stability. So I thank you very much all of you for attending this SECON, coming all the way from your places to Pune, and from all of us at Pune SECON Organizing Committee, I really thank you once again for attending this SECON. Thank you very much.
Please join us. 2 quick questions from the audience on these 2 techniques.
Question to Dr. Rao. How will you measure the length of the rod to be kept free, which is like unlocked, in the non-locking system, what you told? And the second question is, have you seen any facetal arthropathy because of the rubbing of the rod and the facet? Because a lot of the time in adults we keep the rod short so that it will not touch the facet.
Actually, there is no specific measurement how much of excess rod you have to keep on the top. It's just arbitrary. In sense that generally when you are doing it in a young child, like a 5 years or 4 years, you expect maybe a 2-3 vertebral heights growth. So that is the extent of rod you leave on the top, unlocked, so as it can happen. And the next question is that you wanted to know if there is any facetal problem. Basically, when we insert that pedicle screw there, it is, though we have given an incision, they are inserted in a total minimally invasive type manner. So we don't really expose the facet joint or anything. With radiological control, through the muscle, these screws are inserted. So I'm not
My question is,